Hello guys, and welcome to the next entry in my commentary series here. And this is going to be discussing the Tough Mudder which I ran 2 weekends ago, which is why I haven't been as regular in my video updates, because I was busy doing that, and that pretty much ate up an entire weekend, and then I had a fishing trip last weekend. But in a word, the Tough Mudder was awesome. It's very rare to get a event which challenges you as basically the most difficult physical thing I've ever done, while simultaneously getting covered in mud from head to toe, going through all kinds of cool obstacles, having your confidence in humanity and teamwork really be revitalized, and being shocked with 10,000 volts at the end of it. So, a completely awesome event, and I would encourage any of you guys who haven't done one to get off your butts, train for a while, and sign up for doing it. You won't regret it. It's really an impressive accomplishment, and I feel like overall you feel like you've achieved something whenever you get all the way through that race. It is not easy to do. Pretty brutal all around, and just a great experience. I love the camaraderie that you had with your fellow racers, and of course I was going through with the team, so we would wait and make sure everyone got to all the obstacles, didn't leave anyone behind. Anyway, overall, great experience, and it did teach me a lot of stuff. It taught me that I can get shocked by 10,000 volts and still keep staggering through a obstacle, and that other things about just like the human body. It made me sort of make theories about how the human body works and how pain and all that sort of stuff works. I've begun to formulate this theory as the body as a province, like your whole body is maybe like a country, and then you have various parts of your body, your calves, arms, legs, brain, are like the little counties and provinces in the body, and of course the brain itself is the main government, which sends orders and sends its little enforcers in to make people obey whenever they aren't following the orders, and or sometimes becomes weak and overcome by the body's demands and just fritters around in I guess failure and mediocrity, like many people's brains do. They don't have the brain power, or their brain doesn't have the muscle to back up its commands, and so the body just gets whatever it wants. It gets its donuts, laying on the couch, sleeping in bed for another hour, or whatever the case may be that your body is particularly craving at the moment. So, for me, the main crisis in the body state happened right around mile 8. And this happened, of course, it was a mental crisis right before the electrical shock therapy, because, well, we'll get to that later. So at mile 8, we had a really unbelievably long hill, which is completely drained you. My entire mental energy was just devoted in making sure I did not stop moving completely. I had a goal at the beginning of the hill to keep running the whole hill, and then halfway through the hill, there was like, no way in heck is that going to happen. The goal was just to keep the feet moving and not come to a complete stop like everyone else was around me. And so, I had me finally finish this hill, which was 1,400 feet of elevation gained in 3/4 of a mile. So, a continual, seemed like a straight up climb, but wasn't. We had to wait for the rest of our team, because our whole pact as a team was to make sure that no one got left behind. And so, there I was, waiting for the other guys who gave in to the mental weakness and had stopped and walked and whatever else on the way, and then had to start again. And, well, your body does not really like to start again after you just push yourself to the limit and just been in mental agony, and then your muscles actually stop and get cold for a second, and then you try to make them go again. The muscles are like, no way is this happening, and you have a bit of a mental crisis. And so, this is actually behind the scenes, never before heard news footage from like the body has its own channel reporting what's going on in the various provinces and stuff, and this is audio from that news broadcast, which is happening in my body at mile 8. So you guys are pretty privileged. It's a very rare thing to witness.
Good evening, concerned cells of John's body. The brain has just sent a ultimatum that the calves and the rest of the muscles will begin moving forward in the race. Unfortunately, citizens of the calves have declared that their working conditions are completely intolerable, and that the buildup of lactic acids has made the tiniest movement unbearable. There is now a tense standoff going on between the white blood cells, who are charged with enforcing the brain's most recent decision, and the muscle fibers in the calf, who are firmly striking. And in minute 2 of the strike, the brain has decided to rough up the protesters a bit, and in consequence, the white blood cells are moving in with tear gas grenades and riot gear to break up the unruly crowd. A few tottering steps have been taken. Unfortunately, one of the calf muscle fibers has thrown a Molotov cocktail, as evidenced by the fiery pain spreading throughout all the calf region, and broken some glass, and pandemonium is ensuing. Complete and total anarchy has broken out in a few streets of the calves. Some of them are attempting to move the body forward and do their work, but it is a tottering and unstable gait. Concerned citizens of the heart and lungs are fearing that the anarchy will spread further and that the entire system will shut down and come crashing onto its face. And now things are really getting bad. The white blood cells have given up on non-lethal measures and responded to the projectiles and improvised grenades with force. We have bodies piling up in the streets. It's unprecedented in the history of the body. There's a real concern that the entire calves will shut down in muscle cramps. No one knows what that will do to the status of the overall body in the race, but it is certain that it will not be good. But we do have positive news. It appears that the worst pockets of resistance have been eradicated, and that now the rest of the calves are resuming their duties, if in a haphazard, jerky manner. Now both sides have entered into negotiations, with the calves demanding better nutrition if they're going to be subjected to such rigors. At the moment, the taste buds are quickly protesting. We will see where this all ends up, but with the recent political climate in the brain, it is most likely that austerity measures will be taken on all fronts, with all muscle groups having to work harder and possibly the diet being affected as well.
So, who knew that the body was so fascinating and that it was a really very complex organism? Actually, the body is a super complex organism, probably way more complex than any country or city and all the little intricate workings of it, but I'm not sure it exactly has the same kind of revolts. But it did give me something to think about and amuse myself with as I tried to power through that section of the race. Of course, later on we had the electroshock therapy, which honestly took a lot of nerve to go ahead and do. I'm an electrician, so I know how bad shocks hurt. I hate being shocked, and so even if it is a low current electric fence which won't kill you, it's still super nasty to get hit by 10,000 volts. Literally, if you try to run through it, you're going to face plant. You just will. I got knocked down a couple times getting through the shocks, and one of my coworkers took a couple really hard hits. So on the whole, pretty awesome race. I would really recommend it to anyone. If you want to watch videos and such of it, you can find lots of footage on YouTube of people going through these obstacles and making fools of themselves, even more than we did. And of course, being a complete idiotic moronic psycho, I have signed up for the next one, which is next month. So, yep, peer pressure from the company and this being a glutton for punishment. So, hopefully I'll get some really good footage and stuff from that, and maybe we can get together a pretty hilarious highlight montage of that. All right, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to tune in for more exciting and interesting videos of all topics, and we will see you next time.